This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello?
Bueno. Who this is?
I am
Who
your
is this?
father.
Identify yourself. Identify yourself, homie. ¿Quién vive? ¿Quién vive? Hey, my brother-in-law used to say it like that. ¿Quién vive? I'm like, why did you say ¿Quién vive? I'm like,
I am
that
your
was the way he would
father.
answer all the time. ¿Quién vive?
Hey, what's
this sounds
up?
crazy,
Hey,
bro.
how's it going?
Right here, right here. Hey, but that shit sounds like the voice is so deep on that thing. Sound like you got a frog on your throat.
Hey, that's when
But
I'm
yeah, what's up with you?
hey, that's when I'm on high levels of testosterone right there.
No, man, that shit sound like the fools when they do heroin. When they do heroin and their voice gets fucking like, hey, what's up, homie? They get like hella deep. That's what that sounded like. That's how you could tell when the homies, when the dudes are high right here, is their voice change. It's like a straight giveaway. And you should be telling on themselves when they talk.
That's a
What you
trip.
been up to?
Man, just right here, I've been just handling knocking out some of these interviews before the end of the year. That's all pretty much. Yeah, I did one with Gary in the morning, and I did another one, and then you're on now. So go I'm pulling out all the stops today. Going full force, if you will.
Yeah, you've been. Damn, yeah, you're working on all cylinders, huh? Today?
I
thought you were gonna like sleep in or something.
Till the wheels fall off. Hey, ICEMAN just put he put a comment right now. He put WTF.
What the fuck?
And
is that what that means?
No, it's what the fuck.
What the fuck? Is that? What the fuck? Hey, I'm still learning. Like I don't know, like the abbreviations. Like I remember when I had the cuerno and like my nieces and nephews, they used to always like do the little short text, and I was lost. I'm like, what is that? What's that mean? Like TT? What is it? Talk to you later?
Yeah.
Or something like that, or BTT, KKP. I'm like, oh man, don't talk to me like that. Tell me what the fuck you're saying, because I don't understand that shit. And I felt so fucking like outdated, so old, because I had to ask somebody all the time.
Hey.
But yeah, he already tuned in. I sent mine to ICEMAN.
Yeah. También Angel just tapped in. He put, yo, James, I'm watching a movie with la abuelita de Batman. I can't listen right now, but I said my love to you and to Javi. He said he'll listen to us later. Hey, gracias, honey. I appreciate it.
Homie. That's right. Hey, that fool's got a cool sense of humor, huh?
Yeah.
He said, I'm watching a movie with Abuelita de Batman. Yeah, that's right, homie. But,
yeah.
Hey, I was telling Gary, hey, I didn't know Gary don't speak Spanish, homie.
Oh,
he
yeah.
just putting me, homie.
Well, that fool, he's like third generation or fourth generation.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I didn't get disappointed to the point where I'm not, he's my buddy. I'm always, that's nothing, but it's just figuratively speaking. Because I got to talking to him, and then I just started shooting in Spanish. He was like, he couldn't stop me, because, once I get going, I go, like a straight matralleta Uzi machine. I'm just going, and he's just looking at me like he wants to say, hey, stop. I don't understand a word you're saying. So he finally told me, hey, my boy. He looked at me with a little sad face, like, hey, can you say that again, but in English? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't you tap me on the shoulder or something? Because I was a loud one. I can't redo it. I can't redo all that, but yeah, I didn't know that. But no, it's no biggie. Like, I told him I was going to teach him. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
Every day, when I see him now, I stay talking to him in Spanish. He kind of likes that. I go, that's how you get it. Especially in prison. This is where you pick up languages. But yeah, man.
So
Yeah,
let
I
me
didn't
ask
know
you
you were doing
something.
that kind of. Yeah. That sounds crazy, huh?
Right?
Hey, that shit sounds like that fucking. That. Yeah, it sounds like it reminds me of. I think the Thriller from that Michael Jackson music video,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
that
yeah.
dude that laughs at the end. With that deep ass voice. Yeah.
Hey, I'm having too much fun with this thing right here,
Yeah,
pressing
man.
these
So,
buttons and whatnot.
okay.
Hey,
Yeah, that's just tight, man. You got a cool setup.
el Iceman is
Iceman
asking.
didn't work today.
No, he did. He actually
He's
did.
what?
He worked today. El Iceman. He did 11 hours
Oh, okay.
of OT today. So he's putting in that work, and he's asking. He wants to
Esta
know.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
El Iceman wants to know how many
He's
points.
putting that money in the bank.
How many points did you ever get on the
Oh,
from your 115s y todo the madre that you were doing on the
oh,
yard?
my math?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I believe I told you. I believe I went up to 234, and then I
234.
dropped to 137, and I stayed at 130. Yeah, and I stayed at 137 for like maybe like 8 years, because I wasn't going up or I wasn't going down. Every time I went up, they would take them, like at the end of the year, like whatever points I got last year, they would just give them back to me. So I was just going up and down, and then up until 2018. And I think right now that they changed the whole system. So before they used to take 6 points or 4 points. 4 if you're not working, and 6 if you had a job. Now they take double. So because they started taking double, I dropped down to, I think I'm at 100 and some, or a 95 or something like that. I know I've never been this low, but yeah.
Oh, so
I
right
was
now
bad.
you're on an override then, right? You're a righteous level 4
Yeah, I'm
then.
on the override. Yeah, I'm still level 4. Righteously, I'm still level 4, but because they trying to give us a little action, because they notice that a lot of us been stuck on a level 4 for 30, 40 years, and the reason we're there and we're not getting no programming, we're not getting the groups for board, and because it's the lockdown prisons, we stay locked down, they don't have nothing. So now that they put us right here, and everybody's doing good, man. All the dudes that I know from overrides, they're all doing the groups, they're all staying away from alcohol, drugs, everything, man. Majority, So yeah, like, but if you mess up one time, you go. They tell you, like, when you go to when you go and talk to the sergeant and the captain, he tells you, he goes, look, Mr. YANEZ, you're not level 3. You're here on a level 3 override. One write-up. Even if you miss school one day, you know what I mean? He's just sending you back. I'm like, damn. Hey, that's why I get up so early. I'm so scared. I'm all traumatized. I'm like hella paranoid. I want to make sure I'm up for breakfast. And so sometimes my eyes just, I go to sleep thinking about it so much that my eyes just pop up, and at 3 o'clock, different weird hours. Never happened before. Because
Hey,
I'm fear of getting in trouble,
you're all super panicas looking around it.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine how that feels, homie. And when I go to yard and I hear that there's fools that are tweaking and fools that are doing spice, that other weird ass drug. Like, I go to yard and I go to the dip bar, because they don't, the drug addicts, they don't kick it in a little workout area. They all like just walking around the yard, fucking just going all over the place, And so every time people get to come around me, I be doing like a sobriety test on them to make sure I don't get in trouble, make sure they don't flip out on me, or, because, they're mentally unstable. So that's another thing that fucking scares me, because I could easily get in trouble and I didn't do nothing. These dudes just came up to me and probably thought he's all paranoid, thought I was his enemy, and boom, he could punch on me, and damn, there I go. So it's a lot to take in, huh?
Hey, so yesterday I was playing back the interview we did, and then, man, hey, man, I think that's one of the craziest hits you ever did, or craziest pegadas. You hit that dude on the wheelchair.
Oh yeah. Sure, man. And my laughing is not because I hurt the dude. My laughing is because of the way it sounds. Like on paper, and if anybody hears about it, like, oh, that's fucked up. But people that were there, and the cops and everybody, they seen that fool get up. You know, he started like sparring with me. He started like swinging on me. So he got up. He was my celly. He freed my celly a long time ago. So he was just a scumbag, dog. And he was the only reason he was in a wheelchair is because he was trying to fake all kinds of stuff so he could get like Social Security when he gets out, so he could get morphine medication, so he could sell his fucking payments and all that shit. So yeah, he wasn't. There was nothing wrong with him, but he was just the wheelchair was just a front. But it sounds ugly. It sounds bad, you know. But yeah, that was one of the funniest ones for me.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I do, man? This dude told me he's gonna whack me. You know, he threatened me. You know, he was telling people that because he owed me for a while, and I kept telling him like, hey, homie, you're gonna pay me. So when you go up to somebody and they owe you money, and you tell them, hey, you're gonna pay me, they're like, I ain't gonna pay him. But if you tell them, you're gonna pay me, homie, that means like translation to that is like you're gonna pay me, or either you're gonna stab him or whatever. But he threatened me, you know, so I was like, fuck, I can't even tell him nothing. I'm just watching my back for doing the wheelchair, you know. I used to get clowned when everybody that knew about it. They used to tell me I used to stay in from yard, right? But because I had things to do, not because I was scared of the dude. I just had things to do, and they used to tell me, hey, Javi, the dude in the wheelchair paroled already. You go to yard. So it was like a in-house joke, you know. But yeah, that shit just not a good feeling, you know, walking around the yard, you know, knowing that this fool's fucking threatening, like telling people that he's gonna get you. What do, you know? There's nowhere to go. I couldn't lock it up. I ain't gonna go around and tell the cops. There's nothing you could do after that. You just gotta nick it in the bud, and so in fear of him doing something to me, I beat him to the punch. But I'm not like that no more. Like now, I don't even know how I would go about that. And now that's why I keep my circle small, and I don't do like much of the hustle that I used to do of fixing radios and TV. I don't do it that much. I'm real selective on who I mess with.
Hey, and let me ask you.
That was a funny one.
So when all that went down, they didn't end up like sending you over to AdSeg or putting you on a disciplinary unit?
Oh man, I'm glad you told me that. Listen, so now I remember exactly how I left out. Okay, so when it happened, right? Okay, this dude got up, you know, and he's swinging at me for a while, and my whole priority at that time was I was focused on trying to go get rid of the fierro, go get rid of the weapon, right? And I was in the basketball court. There's nowhere to put it. There's nowhere to hide it there. So I went and I went because the cops, they didn't see the actual thing, but they did, you know, cops seen him getting up, but they didn't know that he had gotten hit, and they were tripping like, that fool never got up, right? He's in the wheelchair. What's he doing?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So while the cops were focusing on him because they had never seen him get off his wheelchair, they started walking that way, and I started walking around the other way of like acting like I was running laps around the yard, right? So I took off and I was like walking fast, and I started jogging around the yard, and I got in front of 3 Block, right? And on the grass area, there's a drain. So I kind of like I made it towards the grass area, and I went to the drain, and I threw it. I dumped the weapon in the drain, right? And it went all the way down. Then I started throwing like grass and mud from the area right there to try to aim and cover it, right? But I couldn't aim it. I was like, fuck. But it was pretty deep. It was pretty down there. I said, man, hopefully I won't see that. Because I was just waiting for the alarm to go down. And then right after I put it down, like maybe 30 seconds, and down, and then, yeah, and they dropped the yard, and the gang of gooners came, and they fucking put everybody against the wall. And I had already moved away from the grass area, and I was walking towards 3 Block, towards the like cement area, the little road. And when the cops came out running on the 3 Block, they told me,
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Hey, they told me, walk straight in front of you and go sit on the grass area. We don't want nobody in front of the building. And he told me, walk straight. And guess when I walked straight, and he told me to stop and told me to get down, guess where I was at? Right next to the fucking drain. I was like, oh, my fucking luck. So when the cop told me to walk straight and go sit on the grass area, I was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. So when they finally got the dude, and the dude told the cops it was me, they went and got me up, and then when they got me, and they left in the journey, and they found me right away. So that's the way I got caught. And then from there, it took me down to I'd say, I think we got like 22 seconds. Did I guess it?
Nah.
21.
No, 10.
Or 20.
10.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dial back. So I don't. I'm gonna hang up. Dial.
All right. So so we're back on with Javier, and he's going through we're revisiting the incident with him being the wheelchair bandit, if you will, and I mean, I laugh about it, but man, definitely not a funny moment, you know, if you're the one that's getting stabbed, and if you're doing the stabbing, because luckily the person or the victim in the wheelchair didn't end up losing their life, because if not, that would have definitely been detrimental towards Javier, possibly coming home. So.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling, usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez,
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
All right.
You there?
Yeah, yes. So
yeah, hey, go ahead.
So no, so I was just so you ended up going to AdSec when you went to your what is it? What is it, a 602 hearing, or what is, or the 115 hearing?
It's called. So you don't go to so the way it works is you don't go to your 115 hearing until like 30 days later. So the way it goes is you get in trouble, if you go into the hole, they take you to the program office and they put you in a cage while they do all the paperwork, and then they come and do a 71 some kind of medical thing where they come and they make sure that you ain't got no that you don't got no wounds, that you're not hurt. And the nurse comes and he checks you out and he writes it off that you're okay or whatever. And then the sergeant comes and he serves you a lockup order. And then when you go to the hall, when you're in a hall, the next process is you're waiting to go to committee so you could get your property, get your TV or radio, whatever, And then you sit there for like about anywhere in between 15 to 30 days waiting for your 115 hearing, and then they'll call you. And then most of the time, maybe 90% of the time, you're gonna be found guilty. It's hard. It's the hardest thing to beat is a 115. And so yeah, that's pretty much the process. And once they find you guilty, they impose a shoe term on you or whatever loss of privilege is. If it's a suable offense, and if it carries longer than 3 years, they'll send you to like a place where you do the shoe term. Because they close down so many shoe terms, so a lot of times you end up doing it just right there in that place. So you'll be in the hole doing shoot time. So yeah, that's pretty much the process right there.
Hey, and let me ask you something. After that, did you ever have any other cellies that were in a wheelchair or had a difficult time moving around or were immobile?
No.
Okay.
No, they made me. No. Oh no! So after that, they had me on temporary single cell because I think that was my third one, I think. And so a lot of times when you have too much violence, they kind of don't want to give you a cellie. They're like, man, that used to be a cellie, because they took that into account. Like, okay, who is this dude? Why? They try to investigate why it happened. So they found out that he used to be my cellie at one time. So they're like, man, you know what? So they were in the middle. They were in the cross. They didn't know whether to continue.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So yeah, I was like about maybe 8 months, self-studied, and then they finally decided to try to sell it. And I did good after that. I got a celly, and I kept getting cellies for a while until up until 2018 with that one when I ended up catching my fatal self-study. So I was in a hole right there doing my little shoe turn for the stabbing, and then I went to I ended up doing it. So I was in that seg, then I went to Coke and Shoe, and I was in the shoe right there for about almost 4 years. So my shoe term was only supposed to be 3 years, and somehow like I ended up doing a little extra time because they didn't have like a prison I could go to. I had enemies in every single prison. So when you can't go nowhere, you're stuck. There's nowhere to put you. A lot of times they'll try to send you either to a lower level or a lower level or either like maybe a federal joint temporary or out of state. But yeah, they worked it out, and finally somebody, I guess one of the enemies, paroled, and that's how I ended up going right back to Kern Valley, and I couldn't leave that prison. So yeah, I ended up doing my shoot term, man. And it was not bad. I learned. I picked up a lot of game. I became a better person after that, I think.
Hey, so a little while ago, I was asking you if you ever had any other cellies that weren't able to walk or maybe in a wheelchair, and the reason I was asking that was because maybe that dude on the wheelchair, maybe he couldn't walk for reals, and maybe like you cured him. So but I guess.
Hey, you're right. It could have been, homie. It's been known because look at when people are in fear, they do like superhuman things, like you ever heard of like people having superhuman like strength? So yeah, but nah, when the cops weren't around and because he was my celly for like maybe 8 months. When the cops weren't on the tira, and they hardly ever in the tira because that's like a 180, it's like little pots. He was up and about in the cell. He was like helping me fix. We used to work together fixing radios. We used to hustle. We used to share the little hustle. And we used to get along all right. And then, but like he just, like his little wheelchair was just getting in the way too much. And I used to always try to talk him out of it. I go, hey bro, like why you guys do that? Look at how crowded it is in the house with that wheelchair. Like you don't even need it. There's nothing wrong with you. He goes, yeah, but he would tell me, they'll take my morphine, and that morphine brings like $100 to the house a day. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know, but I don't think that's worth it, dog. Like, that's not, that's not gonna look good when it's time for you to go home or go to board or whatever. They're gonna, eventually you're gonna get caught, dog. Everybody gets caught because they test them. There's ways to go to the doctor and they pinch their toes and they ask them questions and they know when you're faking, So I couldn't talk him out of it, dog. And so I just couldn't live with him. That's how we ended up splitting up. Like I didn't like his little style. He was very greedy. He was very disrespectful. He used to eat with his mouth open. He used to sneeze and I cover his mouth. I like, oh yeah. And then he used to snore. That was the worst. I mean, I like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work on me. And he got mad. He got butthurt. I said, yeah, dog, we can't do it together. And yeah, there was nothing wrong with him. So. I don't think it cured him, but I think he was always good. I did get another celly, maybe like a year and a half after that. He only had one hand. They used to call him Mocho, and he was older than me. He had been down like 40 years, but this dude was amazing. He was such a good artist. He used to get he had Alzheimer's. Trip out on this. Hold on, give me a minute. All right. I got to put my car because the fools are coming to the door and they see me on the phone and they want to go over there and talk. I just put the window cover. But yeah, so finally when I did my little shoot turn for that, I went back to Kern Valley and the cops know right there that I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not looking for fights, and I get along pretty well with everybody, and it's just very few people that are scumbaggage and they're just dirtbags, and they do that shit to everybody, not just me. So they saw me up with the viejito. They used to call him Mocho. He had one arm. And this dude, man, he was such a badass artist, but he had Alzheimer's. So pretty much they put him in my cell, and they asked me that before they put him in the house, they told me, hey, Yanez, we know you didn't do nothing to it. It didn't really go out down as they say it on paperwork, that wheelchair shit when you stabbed that dude. We know there was nothing wrong with him. So we're not even trying to laugh about this one right here. This dude only got one arm. Or you think because nobody wants him? He's an old man. He was like 72 years old, and nobody wants to live with him because he's an old man, you know, and he's not that clean. He don't brush his teeth that much. I was like, oh yeah, I cannot do that, homie. You can't put him in my house and hear him smelling, having fucking stinky breath. I can't do it. They're like, come on, Yanez, do it for us, man, because we don't know where to put this dude. Nobody wants him. They're like, fuck, man. I go, man, I take him in temporarily, man, but he's not going to be my permanent celly, because they write you up sometimes if you.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, if you refuse to sell me, they write you up. So I was like, man, I know what they were getting at. So once they threw that out there, like, oh yeah, well, somebody's gonna get a write up. And I was like, not me. So anyhow, I ended up taking him. As a celly, and then I cleaned him up, bro. I cut his hair. I fucking hooked him up with some brand new tennis shoes. I hooked him up with some thick clothes, a hat, and I talked to him. I made a deal with him. I told him, if you brush your teeth 3 times a day, I'll pay you like $5, like a week. You know, he had no money. $5 or $10 a week. But he used to gamble, playing chess. He used to get, every once in a while, he used to make a little money gambling on a chessboard. And he was a good player. But yeah, I dealt with it for a while, man, because I know I'm gonna get old, you know, and you know, when people get old in prison, nobody wants them. Nobody wants to be with you. Nobody wants to talk to you. For some reason, you become like a how can I say,
ostracized,
like
an outcast, a
yeah,
hermit.
Yeah, an outcast. Yeah, they exactly, homie. And I used to see that, and I kept thinking, like, man, I'm gonna die in this motherfucking prison, man. I'm gonna be an old man. I'm probably never gonna get out. So, you know, I believe in how you treat others is how you're gonna be treated when you get old. So, and I still do to this day. I still go up to like the oldest people here, and I always give them a little saludos, and you know, give them a little smile. How you doing? And talk to them for a little bit, you know, because I believe that karma's gonna come back, and I don't want to be a lonely man when I get old. I want to be able to communicate with people. I want to be able to talk to people, you know. I don't want to be just sitting there and nobody wants to talk to me. That's a horrible feeling, you know. So yeah, I ended up hooking them up, man, and the cops were tripping. They're like, man, you gave that fool a haircut, because he was hella like a bummy looking, like a bum, right? So I gave him a fade. I hooked him up with a badass haircut. I gave him some glasses. He went out to yard, his first yard. He went out there with some brand new shorts and some Nikes. I gave him the old school Nike pumps. Remember when they had the little Nike pumps? They were too big for me. He was just his size, and he went out there with his little chessboard and his little fucking his little Bird of One glasses, little cholo, his little logs.
Yeah.
And the whole yard was laughing because they're like, damn, that's Mocho? They're like, fucking Javi, you cleaned that fool up. So yeah, I made a deal with him. And so he made sure he did that. He showered every day, and that he did his laundry. I would help him do his laundry though, because with that one hand. Yeah, I ended up here. He ended up being my celly for like about a year and a half. Hey, check out on this. One time on y'all recall, he ended up going to the wrong building, wrong cell, right? So when he didn't come back in the cell after y'all recall, I asked the cops. They're like, hey, what's up? Where's my celly at? They're like, he's not in there. No, he's not in there. And then like half an hour later, they escorted him back in the house, and they told me, hey man, your celly went to the wrong building. The same cell number was, but different building. So when the owner, the one that the actual occupant at that cell came in and he seen him in there, he's like, what the fuck were you doing in my cell? And he was like innocently, you know, he didn't mean it, you know. He found out once he was in the cell, when he went to go to get his stuff, and he's like, oh shit, this is not my cell. But yeah, man, he was going downhill, man. Hopefully. I don't even know whatever happened to him, but yeah, that's the last time I ended up getting a celly that had some kind of, but his was righteous. He had no arm. Mr. Mocho, man. I can never meet him in church. Yeah.
Man, that's a trip, you know.
Go ahead.
You went from the Willie, from the wheelchair, to the one-armed bandit.
To the one-hand man.
The one-hand man.
Yeah,
hey,
one-hand bandit. Man.
So
but I did my good deed, you know. Like I felt like, man, I had to do it, man. Like, you know, but this dude used to walk around the yard with black eyes. People used to beat him up, bro. Like I couldn't believe people could actually put hands on somebody with one hand like that, especially an old man, you know. And man, it was sad. I couldn't say no. I said, man, come on, man. Never put him in here. But yeah, he says breath used to smell sometimes, and I said, damn, like, hey bro, can you brush your teeth again, please? And he was like, what? He called me Buck. He's like, what, Buck? You smell? I go, yeah, I smell. Just scrub real hard. Go up all the way to the back of the tongue and hit the muelas, the back teeth. Hit it hard, man, because this is halitosis. It's coming up. The fumes are going up. You know, this is in the bottom. Yeah, but yeah, it was ugly on me. I couldn't eat. You know, like I never ate when he was in the house. I couldn't eat because the smell. You know, but I did everything I could to clean him up, but it could only go so far. His teeth were so rotten. Yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, that dude, man.
So we're about to be getting hit with the 60-second mark, and I definitely want to go ahead and let you know that el Fish Slayer SoCal just dropped $9.99.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Just blessed you with a $9.99.
Another bomba.
Yeah, he said saludos and happy New Year to Javier.
Hey, likewise, homeboys. Everybody, whoever's in there listening. Hey, you know if Letty logged in?
Oh man, I forgot to send her the link.
Man, send me the link.
I forgot to send her the link.
I sent it to her. Hey, okay, real quick. So what's the problem? Because a lot of people, they can't find it. Is it because the way they're writing?
You know what?
Does it matter if it's lowercase or
It doesn't. But you know what I did? I just shortened the name up. I switched it to CollectCallFrom. So I removed the you have a collect call from, and it's just gonna now be collect call from to make it easier. Hopefully, I'm hoping it makes it easier for people to be able to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna send you a new link so like that you can have the link.
Okay.
All right. So hey, thank you. Really appreciate that. Fish Slayer SoCal. I'll go ahead and send that over to him once we finish up or wrap up this this call, and then hey, you're absolutely right about that right there, ICEMAN. A better wheelchair bandit than a booty bandit. I'll take the wheelchair any day. Screw the rest, man. Yeah, how can you sleep? You can't sleep with somebody in a cell like that. Shh. Imagine that you wake up and they're on top of you choking you out, or they have their fierro in your face. No, thank you. Nah, can't do that. So he should be calling us back shortly, and then.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yay.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
el ICEMAN, he dropped a comment on here. He says,
Yeah.
you know how we were talking about the wheelchair bandit, and he puts, that would be funny
Yeah.
if all the crippled and infirmed inmates would crawl to Javier's cell for the cure, like Saint Joseph.
What did I say? What?
What?
I didn't catch the last part.
What
was the last part, Joe?
So people.
Like the fool that yelled Johavi or something like that.
Oh,
That dude was the raper.
Like everybody we going to your
Jehovah.
Yeah, but you'll be like Saint Joseph. You'll be like curing everybody, like every other cripples from around, from all the different pintas will come.
Oh shit, bro! Hey man, hey homeboy, look, dog, like everybody was so convinced that fool was righteously fucked up, And when that happened, it was like, the dudes that were playing basketball, they were bouncing about, and they were like, you could see their faces, their mouth just drop open. They're like, what? He had these little knee braces that made little noise, like clink, 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 clink. And even his knee braces was all up front. But yeah, yeah, man. Oh man, it's just so funny. I still feel like it's like so embarrassed because of the way it sounds, you know. But I could promise all you guys, man, there was nothing wrong with that dude. He was such a fraud. Like one of them fools that go like. He's no different than the dudes that wear like army uniforms or veterans, and they write signs and they say that they're veterans from war and they're asking for money and they're using that uniform to get money. The same kind of people, man. Like
stolen valor.
Lying, you know, like there was nothing wrong with them. Yeah, bro. He was getting paid. This dude was making $100 a day, you know what I mean? You know, and I'm over here kicking my ass, working already, and I'm fucking making like $30, $40, you know, and I'm fucking drawing all day, making honest money, you know, like the righteous hustle in here. And this dude was just fucking frauding. He was just into like 602 and everything and telling on all these cows that they're fucking beating them up. They weren't even doing nothing to him. He was just scumbaggish. I'm telling you, when it happened, the cops came up to me and they were like clapping pretty much, like, that's right, Yanez. Like, man, I'm about time somebody got that motherfucker, you know? But yeah, dog, but it's still kind of so. I wish that would have never happened, man. I no matter how much I think about how could I gone about it better, you know, like how? What do I do? You know, I'm already on this side, homie. Like, especially running from somebody in a wheelchair. The whole yard knew this fool was already threatening me, and they're like, how's he gonna do it? He's in a wheelchair. So everybody was telling me, hey, fool, that fool ain't gonna trade. That fool's not gonna do shit. And I'm like, I was telling them, I go, fool, that fool could walk. He's my celly. There's nothing wrong with him. They're like, nah, fool, I never seen that fool get up. I go, I live with him. I could tell you, he could walk. He could do burpees. He do more burpees than me. But yeah, man, that's one of my biggest regrets, bro. Like, how could I have gone? What would you would have done? And like, say you were me. What would you would have done, James?
Well, you know what? Like, well, without being in prison before, I would say I would have handled. But that's just speaking without any experience. So, maybe realistically, I don't know. Like, if I have no idea what I would have done. You know, I wish I could give you an honest answer about that. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's you know, because you know, I've never stabbed anybody or. Yeah.
Hey, bro, I never did it. Never. I never did that in the streets. I was not. Man, I could do that. You know, I ain't never got stabbed. I'm scared to get stabbed. I don't know what it feels like. So I could only imagine what the receiver feels. You know, so like prison made me like that. Not like I wasn't violent out there. Look, a lot of people that are non-violent out there and they come to prison, they're forced into violence because we go through this is a perfect example. You got people that are thinking they're gonna fucking scare you or try to work you and they threaten you or they, you know, you feel some kind of fear, and so there's nowhere to nowhere to go.
Hey, Javier. Fish layer SoCal pone, hey, we're definitely messing up over here, me and you, because you straight stuck that dude in. And fish layer pone, Javi, you should have flattened their wheels. You should have crippled his llantas. You should have come on.
Hey, I could have fucking at least kicked one of his wheels and make it wobble, huh?
Something.
You know,
take the air out.
When you take a wheel on the bicycle? Man, homie, why didn't you think of that? That would have been perfect.
Instead of punching holes on him, you should have punched some holes in his tires.
Hey, but his tires don't have no air in them. They're the rubber ones. Maybe try to bend the wheel, huh? So that way I can see him coming, because, you know, he could get close to me on the wheel, you know, like he could get close to me on the wheelchair, and every time he used to get close to me, and he used to be hella fake, like, hey, he used to put a big smile on his face, and he's like, hey, what's up, Javi, how you doing? And I was like, is he aware that I know that he's telling people he's going to stab me? You know, he better know, because he's been down a long time, you know, he's being ignorant. So there was times when I would grab him. Like the day it happened, I took him around the yard. I cruised him. I grabbed his little wheelchair, and I was pushing him I went like maybe 2 laps, And then he goes, hey, park me right here in the basketball court. I'm going to check out the game. So I parked him in the basketball court, and so I was like, man, I'm not going to do it. I couldn't get myself to do it, and then I had a homie, some paisa that told me, hey, he goes, hey, hey, homie, might as well do it, man, because you don't want to be watching your back. This fool, if you know he could walk, why are you gonna risk it? So this dude wanted to see some action, and I looked at him and I go, pinche paisa, you just want to see some fucking meat. You just want to see something happen, huh? And yeah, homie, I felt kind of peer pressured in a way too, because he's like telling me like, hey, bro, you gotta do this shit, like this. You don't want to be talked about later saying you got scared of doing the fucking wheelchair, But yeah, man, I was still growing. I was pretty young still at that time, and how the new me, I still keep thinking about how I could have gone about it better, and that's a good one. The wheel thing, maybe wait till he parks his little wheelchair, and when he's not looking, kick that shit out the wheel real hard, and then he will. And I can hear that shit squeaking.
Hey, so you got a solution now.
To me, I can hear the wheel go.
Yes, sabes. So,
yeah,
I
ain't gonna put myself in those.
If you ever have somebody in on the yard, encountering the same type of scenario, you could just tell him, hey, just pop the
Esta
tires.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey, say it again.
So you could if they find themselves in the same situation that you were in with somebody, they're going up against somebody in a wheelchair. You could just tell them, hey, take the llanta off, bend it or pop it if it has an inner tube.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Even though it sounded so funny, that's real talk. That's a good idea. So yeah, for sure, I'll pass that down. I doubt that probably only happens like once every 100 years. That happened to me.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I could just imagine the stories, because
think about it. Yeah.
Hey, like the stories they were saying about you, because I'm pretty sure that story changed. By the time every time somebody retold that story, it's changed so many times. So
yeah.
Who knows what they were saying at the end.
Oh my! Hey, look it. So when the yard went down. You gotta remember, like I had barely came on this side. I had only been on this side, on the non-active side, and I had already caught two incidents, 2 shoot terms. So I'm only lasting like 6 months in this yard. And I don't look for the shit. It just fucking comes to me. I'm not out there looking for shit. And I'm like, man, why is this shit always happening to me? No matter how good I try to be. And so when the cops came in. And they were stripping down all the gang members, They're like, for sure, one of these fools did it, right? And the dude was not talking until they took him down to the fence area, and they took him into medical. And a gang of cops, everybody in the yard got stripped down all the way to the fucking skin. I mean, they were looking for the fierro. And then finally they came back. I seen them go straight into the building that I lived in, and they come out with an ID, because I didn't have my ID on me. I'm like, shit. As soon as I seen that ID, I said, yeah, they know it's me. So they went to...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, it was something, man. Because everybody was like, Javi? Because they know I'm not like that, homie. So all the gang members right there from this side, they're like, everybody was saying, Javi, so what the fuck? Like, yeah, because I don't fucking go around looking for trouble, homie. They know I'm always happy. I'm always fucking. I'm being nice to everybody. I'm helping people. Half the time I don't charge these dudes to fix it. If it's not that hard, that whatever they need fixed, I would do it for free. I do that a lot. I still do it, and I'd rather do it for free than charge them, and then they don't pay me, and then here we go with the incident again. So, yeah, man, that was something, man.
And let me ask you.
So that was year. Let me see. Go ahead.
So after the incident, did you end up staying once you got out of AdSeg? Did you end up back in the same yard, or did they end up shipping you somewhere else? Because I remember you saying that I don't know if it was you ended up in Kern Valley or some other spot.
Yeah. So I did a shoot term in Corcoran, and then boom, they sent me right back. So I couldn't leave. I ended up staying. I couldn't go to no other prison. The only prison I could go to was Kern Valley. So I was stuck in Kern Valley for 16 years. And like it was like the Twilight Zone, man. No matter how hard I tried to leave, because I was trying to go to. Remember, I had mentioned I was already eligible to go to a lower, like more privileges, to a 270. It was a level 4, but a 270 design. That's more program. And they didn't send me. They kept me there for like extra 8 years. I was eligible for 8 years, and because I was not putting in the paperwork and 602 in it and complaining, they was like, fuck it, they kept me. And so yeah, that was something, man. Like everybody that goes to Plum Valley, anybody that's been there, they'll tell you that that's the hardest prison to once you're in there, it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave from that prison, man. Like for some reason, that prison does their own program. Like they got certain inmates that once they know who you are and they know your program. Like for me, for example, they know that. Oh, YANEZ, he's cool. I had a package job for 2 years. I was working in the program office, and I used to help out packing our packages. And I used to clean the whole patio. I used to clean the program office. I used to buff the medical. So I was a hustler. I was working. So they used to let me get away with certain things. Like I would bring back wax so I could wax my cell and do my little drawings and bring extra cleaning supplies for the cell. And they would let me get away with it because they knew that I was a hard worker. So they already knew my program. So what they don't like to get rid of people like that, because when they get rid of one inmate, for every inmate they get rid of, they know that there's another one that's gonna come take my place. And so they don't know what kind of inmate. They don't know what kind of mentality. If he's mentally stable, if he's gonna be a crazy dude, if he's gonna be one of the fools that got something against the cops. And so they don't want to risk the program being fucked up by one person. So they'll try to keep you. Once they know everybody, they know everybody by name, not just your last name, by your nickname. So it became like a community where, like, these cops just didn't want to get rid of, how can I say, like model inmates, if you say. So, like, they already knew you, like they knew exactly what you do. They knew that every once in a while, maybe like every 2 years, I would drink. Maybe for New Year's I would get a little buzzy. I was never belligerent or violent on it, so they used to let me get away with certain things. So they knew who I was, so they didn't want to risk getting rid of me and putting another dude that's going to mess up the whole program. So that's why, and that's not a reason for them to keep you. They can't get attached to you. In other words, like that's it's considered over.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Like I was in the Yarda, homie, I was probably like the most fucking known. Like every single officer knew me, like real cool. Like if we were friends, like if we were homeboys. A lot of inmates didn't like me because I had it so good with the cops. Like I was very talkative, like I am right here. And I used to fix the fans. They used to call me, hey man, my microwave in the office in this building. You know anything about microwaves? I don't know, but I could find out. And I'll go in there and I'll rig it up and I'll get the microwave fixed. So, like, they already knew. And I never really charged them nothing. There was just an instant satisfaction for me knowing that I could fix something and I could make them happy, And they weren't going to trip on me. They would give me a little extra, they let me run around. They let me go to another building and pick up a TV. And that's how I would get paid. So I would tell them, hey, man, can I go to a certain building on the other side and go talk to my homie? And, they're not supposed to let you do that, but they would let me do it. Yeah.
Call us back. All right, so he went ahead and passed our the 15-minute mark, and the call was disconnected. So he should be calling us back shortly. And just a heads up, this call right now, it's after we connect again. We'll be on for 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, call it a night for tonight, and then we'll go ahead and continue tomorrow. I did quite a few phone calls today, so I'm a bit it doesn't seem like this would be tiring, but man, I'm drained. And then right now I'm gonna go ahead and read off SoCal's message about getting busted with a tire gauge. Okay, and I'll ask him right now about if anybody's ever hooked up with any of the
This call is now being recorded.
Global Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Javier Yáñez.
un preso recluido de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, Javier.
Yay.
All right. So,
Yes, sir.
so I just want to give you the heads up. So after this call, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And call it a night. And
Okie dokie.
But so fish slayer SoCal wanted me to ask something because he wanted to know if it was true that you got busted with a tire gauge.
What is it? A tire gauge?
A tire gauge?
I got it. For the fucking. That's to measure the fucking. Hey, that's to measure the air, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Measure someone's air? Fucking fish later. You shot that, homeboy. He shot that. Hey, I like this, bro. See, you know what? That really does help me. It helps me because, I'm talking about, like, real shit. Like, when I'm talking about this kind of stuff,
yeah,
I lose my breath, homie. My heart gets to beating real hard because it's shit that I wish I didn't have to go through. I wish I didn't have it on my file because I would have gone home a long time ago. But it's just shit that happens, and when I talk about it, it's not easy, so I appreciate the laugh, homie. I really do.
Hey,
Fish Slayer SoCal.
That's right. Hey, we gotta be, how we do with the carrilla and whatnot. You can't be all, thin skin. You gotta be thick skin. Especially in the places you've been. Because the homies, it's all about the carrilla. They're gonna be messing with you, and if you get all emotional, it's gonna be all bad.
Yeah. Hey, that's the reason why I'm the one that's always giving carrilla, and I don't stop. Because if I stop, I feel that they're going to go give me carrilla, so I don't give them a chance. Hey, I'll have the whole day room busting up, homie. Like, they always tell me, like, fucking Javi, you're a fucking payaso. That's why I do it, because I don't want to be quiet, and then they just decide to say, hey, today, this bad on Javi. And I fuck with feelings, homie. I'm sentimental. I keep it 100.
Yeah.
And sometimes they touch certain. The one that's always bugged me was the wheelchair bandit one.
The wheelchair bandit.
I felt like I always have to explain myself. I used to come, man, fuck you. That fool wild. Told me. They're like, you ain't right, Javi. That's fucked up, homie. Pobrecito. I go, man, fuck you, fool. That fool could walk, homie. So, yeah, I used to get a complejo on that one, homie, but I'm over it now.
You might start getting some mail from some of these organizations, that are going to be highly upset that you put in some work on somebody in a wheelchair. Hey, but El ICEMAN is asking a question. He wants to know if you ever knew of any vatos that hooked up with any of the guardias.
Oh, yeah. Hey, homie, look, when I go up to Houston, my first prison, I got a job in the kitchen, right? And so the kitchen's got 2 rooms. The back one is where they got all the supplies, right? So one of the free staff, they have 2 free staff. They had a male and a female. The female was a morena, right? She was all right. She wasn't ugly. So they go, hey, go get a whole box of ketchup from the back. So it was like my second day there, and I'm walking in there to get the box of ketchup, and I went in there, and one of the amers was boning the huda right there, like nothing. I looked in, I was like, oh shit, I just backpedaled. I made a U-turn, and I went and told the homie. I go, hey dog, go get the ketchup, homie. I don't know where it's at. I didn't say nothing about what I seen, And the homie ran into it too. But it was crazy, yeah. I seen that shit a lot right here. I never did it, I never even attempted it because sometimes that's something that they could put an R in your jacket. Like even for doing cat calls, like if a female walks by and you whistle at her, just that little whistle, they could put an R in your jacket and give you like a 6, put you under that 6 violator or whatever that's called, and you got to register as a sex offender, and all you did was whistled. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's bananas.
Hey, yeah, homie, but yeah, they be hooking up with the hudas right here. most of the time it's with like free staffs, with nurses, teachers, canteen people that work in the canteen, people that are not actually in cop uniforms. But when I was in Lancaster, my homeboy hooked up with a female sergeant, and she was bad. She was fine. I mean, she had big old titties and shit. And later on, we found out she used to be a porn star. So that made it so uncomfortable. Yeah, every time she went out to yard to work, everybody was being a pervert. Like they were just keeping staring at her too long. I'm like, yeah, that's just so uncomfortable. Because now we know she used to be a porn star. And she got a job. Look at where she gets a job at a fucking prison out of all places. After hanging the gloves with the porn industry. But yeah, man. I'm pretty sure that story is out there. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It came out in the news.
Nah, that one I never heard about it. Yeah, that's definitely new.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hey, I'm gonna get up in a little bit. Come down a little bit. First time, yeah. Hey, but yeah, it happened in 90. It happened in 99, I think, James. In 99 or in 2000, and she was a sergeant there for like maybe 6 years.
Oh wow!
All the fucking SEALs were hitting it. Yeah, for sure. Hey, the homie used to come back from work. He was a yard crew worker, right? And he used to come back, and he was walking bow-legged. That fool used to say, "Hey, fool, that bitch left my dick hella red, hella straight raw." Hey, I shouldn't even be saying that around here. My bad. Like I'm over here talking about dick and bitch and all that. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? I apologize, man. I'm forgetting how many people could be listening to it, but we're grown men, and so I don't mean it like in a perverted way. It's just that's what was going on right there, and it was crazy, man. I never got lucky like that, And the way it's good though. And I'm fresh meat right now. If I ever get out, I'm like a 30-year-old virgin,
Man, yeah, brand new. You got rejuvenated.
Yes, sir. And then, hey, homie, I work out so much. Remember I was telling you that I want to be able to hang whenever I do get some. I'm gonna put it down, homie. I'm gonna do the power driver. I bet like when I had the phone and I would go and every once in a while look at porn. I would watch a porn video and I'll be like, oh yeah, for sure I'm gonna be doing that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing that right there too. Oh yeah, for sure I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. And I'm gonna try that. But yeah, I was getting photographic memories of the little positions, because don't forget I got busted, pretty young, dog. So I wasn't that experienced. I wasn't good at it. Really, I didn't think I was at least, But yeah, for sure. Homie.
Hey, you're gonna have to be trucha when you come home because you don't want to, dislocate a hip or something. That'll be all bad. Imagine like you get out and you go on maniac.
You didn't go there, did you?
You go on maniac, and then like.
Hey, homie! Hell no. I could work out, homie. I put in some work, homie. I'll pop the brakes off that. You know how they say once I'll pop the brakes off that cookie. But yeah, dog, like, hey, homie, like it's all fun and games, I know I'm gonna put it down for sure. I'm trying to make me a little family still. If I could still, I think being that I'm so healthy, I could still maybe get with like somebody a little younger, like maybe 35, that could still have a baby, and try to make me a little kid. I have a son, man, but that fool's like already 30. I think he's like 30, 31, 32. But nah, man, I want to be able to raise a kid, It's gonna be a little weird because I'm gonna be a grandpa. I'm gonna be so old when he's like 20. I'm gonna be already 50, 60, 70. So yeah, it's crazy. But I think about it a lot. But hey, homie, never say never, huh?
Hey, let me ask you something. Because because you're like what, 55 or how old are you?
No, homie, come on, I just turned 50.
Hey, but let me ask you something.
I turned 72.
Let me ask you. So,
how do I look on the picture? On the real? Do I look older on the picture?
Nah, you don't look a day. You don't look a day or. How do I look? You don't look a day or 49. But did you? Have you tried to file a petition, to get out on compassionate release since you've been down so long? And I remember you mentioning to me that you had some other issues, but you never try to petition the court, to try to get on a compassionate release.
Bro, I know I qualify for so much shit, but being that I struggle with reading and I just up into like maybe last year, I became pretty good. I got good at reading because of the tablet.
Okay.
Help.
Yeah.
So, all that's kind of stressful. So I'm looking into it, and I'm glad you told me that because I was reading something about that called VOP.
Yeah.
Writer director, the Bureau of Prison something.
Yeah.
So, that's a good idea. And I'm going to look into that in case I get denied. I could go other avenues. But, yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad you told me that.
And you know what? And I actually, it totally slipped my mind a while
Esta
ago.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
A while ago, Angel had asked. He had asked me to ask you something, and I totally spaced it. And he wanted to know. So he put, "Yo, James, I'm watching a movie with my." Oh no, that wasn't it right there. Hold on, it was another one. Where'd it go? Yeah. So he's asking. Quick question. I haven't been busted for a while. How much freedom does he have on the tablet? What do they block? What apps can you have?
Oh man, they block everything though, bro. The only thing you can use is the phone, the messaging, and they block everything. They block Facebook, Instagram, but they got certain like other entertainment things. Like you got the movies, you got the music, you got But yeah, as far as getting into social media, it's not gonna happen. They want to control everything. So like these phones, they randomly listen to conversations. They can't listen to all of them, but they randomly if you're red flag. But yeah, it ain't much freedom. It's not.
And then I'm sure right now with
So
AI,
don't come to prison, homie.
Hey, with AI right now, they don't even have to listen to them. They could just have if you say, I'm pretty sure they got some keywords. And if you say those keywords, then probably you'll get like a live, like somebody actually actively monitoring, your call. If you say whatever keywords, they have they train the
You're
AI.
doing your homework, huh?
Oh yeah, they're mandatory. Yeah.
You be knowing, fool. You be knowing. Hey, same thing with messaging. With messaging is the same thing. Like when I was writing my prima, she kept saying, hey, all her messages were saying. I think I told this story in the beginning. Kept saying, hey primo, how you doing, primo? So I wasn't getting her messages, so I got buttered, and I told her, man, you're fucked up. You're not even answering my messages. So all my messages were fucking being pending because they were, being held back because of that word, and they didn't know. I didn't know. She didn't know. But yeah, there's words that are red flags that automatically hold them.
So with that word, I'm assuming is because like when you mix like certain drugs. Then you make that
primo.
Yeah, that's what it go. Okay, yeah.
Like the word black, blanca, crystal, anything that has to do with drugs, gangs, guns, and all that, they're red flags. So once that word catches, they'll hold your message. They won't send it through. Same thing with a conversation. If they hear anything,
as a matter of fact,
boom,
since right now you just hit those keywords, right now are somebody's getting notified over there, and they're probably listening to our phone call right now because they're like, oh, this is a good one. It probably said like 6. You said like 6 keywords right there.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe when we're talking about positive shit, I should say primo, so they can come and listen. That we're talking about good, righteous things to, for the kids. We're trying to better our youth, and it's, all this that we do is in good faith. Even though we play around a lot and we laugh about it, it's real shit. Like this is lives, people that we're talking about people's lives, and we're trying to prevent kids from coming into prison and people not to glamorize none of this shit because this shit is real.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Yeah. All right, so Javier, so with that, they already hit us with the 1 minute mark. Do you want to go ahead and give out your shout outs? And after the call gets disconnected, call me back, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plug, and we'll talk for a few minutes off of the air.
Okay. So yeah, so let's for sure let's get Biddy K a shout out. Cause she listened all the way from London. She's cool, man. I still got that Even though, like, I don't go and read the message all the time, I got it memorized word for word, man, and she knows how to put a letter down. Send mine to Richard también, Richard in Colorado. I think his last name is McCollum or something like that. Or he's got it's a weird name, but yeah, the homie Richard in Colorado, ICEMAN, what is it, South, Fish Layer, SoCal, and Vida Estilo Chronicles.
That's right. He was in the middle of getting a shout out, and I want to go ahead and thank all of you that tuned in today. Really appreciate it. Fish Slayer, SoCal, ICEMAN, Lifestyles Chronicle, Angel, and who else do we have in here today? It was in a big turnout, and I'm guessing maybe because everybody's hanging out with their families and chilling, or maybe out of town or whatnot. But anyhow, so we'll be on tomorrow. We'll go ahead and continue with the streams for the end of the year, and then and that's what it is for right now. And with that being said, life's like a candle. Once you blow it, it slices out. And with that, I'm out.